Jan. Let us give Jan a little bit of appreciation. Thank you for all that beautiful music. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Everybody a little bit drier now than they were a couple minutes ago? Woo! Welcome. Welcome to Westside UU Church. I am the Reverend Carol Badeau. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am privileged to serve here as minister. And I am thrilled to have you here this morning, although I feel a little bit bad about those of you who arrived during the worst of the storm. One person, actually, we saw one car just circle the parking lot and go, give up. Go them. Self-care is good. So Westside is a place where we really want to take care of each other, of the world, of this community, of our planet. There's some good demonstrations of that going on out there with the towel brigade and the umbrella brigade. People are running back and forth to the parking lot and helping people dry off. So that's who we are. You don't have to adhere to any particular dogma or creed to be part of this community. This is a place where you get to bring your most authentic self, your unique self. There's a lot going on right now, so we're going to talk little bit about the announcements. First, a big welcome to those of you who are with us virtually. If you are here right now in this moment in real time, or if you're here at some moment in the future, we are happy you're here and dry and safe, and you are part of this community too. So if you are with us virtually, you will have seen announcements scrolling on your screen, and for those of you here in person, announcements are in your order of service. A few things to highlight for you all. First, today there's going to be a survey that we're going to talk about during the service, so just a reminder before we even get started, don't forget to pick up your survey on the back table. And next week is potluck, but it's a very particular kind of potluck next week. Next week is our annual Pancakes and Patriotism service. So Chris Edkins leads that service, and then the potluck is pancakes next week. Chris will be making pancakes, and if you're going to bring something for the potluck, please bring something breakfast-oriented. It is very distracting with the thunder, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone said, Ann Harvey, who is a school teacher, said as I was coming into the sanctuary, she said, it's going to be like a room full of 11-year-olds with the storm going on, because it is distracting. I will be the main 11-year-old.
Say something significant right before each Sunday.
That's right. I need to time it perfectly. When the lightning flashes, I need to say, ta-ta, and then it'll go, right? That's what it'll be. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's it. Bring in the baptism and the brimstone to Unitarian Universalism. So next week, pancake breakfast after the service. So please, for the potluck, bring something that goes well with pancakes, breakfasty. Also, a reminder that we're not having Earth Church this afternoon, even though it's the fourth Sunday, because we had our solstice a week ago. And instead, Jan and Chris, I believe, will be leading a curtan with some other folks. We have a curtan at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So if the weather's really bad, you can just chill here and not leave and stick around and sing. Stay and have fun. Also, for anyone who's interested, you do not have to have been participating in this group prior to today. After the service today, we will have coffee and conversation from 12 to 12:30-ish. And then anyone who is interested is welcome to join us for our compassionate communication discussion group in class. We meet from about 12:30 to 2 back in the main conference room, in the RE wing. So you're welcome to join us for that. So, all the announcements, all the things going on. Everybody take a breath. The rain is calming. Westside is a place where we prioritize making connections that allow us to build healthier lives and healthier communities. Whether that means learning something new or challenging yourself to live what you have as your existing values, to live those more fully. whether it means resting more or being more active and courageous, whether being healthy for you means saying yes more or saying no more. We are here to support one another in being our best selves as we strive to create a world that is more just, more loving, and more sustainable. Now, we haven't been saying this much lately, but we do have sort of a tagline. Let's call it our motto for our congregation. And this is what it is: love unites, caring connects, community thrives. And we're going to talk a little bit today about what that means. As we gather today, let us consciously consider what it is to love more courageously, to recognize and nourish all the connections that we already have and all those that are yet possible, and to really commit to being part of thriving communities. As I invite our bowl to sing, this is how we call ourselves fully present into this moment. As I invite our bowl to sing this morning, I invite you to really allow yourself to become fully present into this room, into this moment, into this body that you're, this incredible gift of this body that you have to be in today. Allow yourself to simply arrive here.
Today's chalice lighting reading comes from the UU Worship Web, written by Vance Bass. Every day brings struggle, every day brings joy. Every day brings us the opportunity to ease the struggle of another, to be the joy in another's life. May this flame remind us to carry our light to each other and to the world.
So today, as we light every week we light candles of celebration and concern for our community. And every week there's plenty that we know to be concerned about. There's also plenty to celebrate, We just don't necessarily notice all those things on any given day. So this week, we're marking an important anniversary. June 28th, 1969. Does anybody know what June 28th, 1969 is? Ryan knows, but that's cheating because we already talked about it. Yes. Stonewall. Yes. June 28, 1969, there were police raids on the Stonewall Inn in New York City, which was an LGBTQ affirming place. And police raids happened there, and a number of people were arrested. And in the days following that, a number of, depending on your perspective, riots, revolutions, rebellions, protests occurred. And though they weren't the very first protests against oppression of LGBTQ plus people, they were foundational in our contemporary movement for LGBTQ plus rights. So we today are honoring both the celebration of all the things that have become possible in LGBTQ plus justice in our world, and all of the struggles that still exist. This is a place where we are committed as a welcoming congregation. This is a formal status that we have as a congregation, that we are actively continuing to be welcoming and supportive of all of the LGBTQ plus community in this room, in our families, in our larger communities. And that is worth both celebrating and continuing to struggle. So So, do we have any choir members who are brave enough to come up front to help us lead songs? Come on up front, you guys. We are all going to sing together. You all don't have to stand up. We're not that formal. The rest of you can sit down. But there's words up here. And this song that we're going to sing is about the ways we can support each other. I love that we keep opening the door to help people. Like, that's really cool. Come on, be brave. So this song is about how we can help each other take away each other's pain, and how important it is to be grateful for the support that we get from one another. So come on in, you guys. We love you. We're glad you're here. Yay. All right, everybody join in.
Page 18.
For the choir, what page is it? What are we?
18.
18. And Jan is going to play. All right. Now you know what it sounds like, y'all. No excuses. Choir. So I want to invite you to think for a second of a moment in your life when friends gathered around and you needed them. Think about a time when you were the person needing that support. Maybe it was a time of illness or loss, uncertainty or confusion, a time when things weren't going as you'd hoped or planned. What difference did it make to have those people show up for you? And think maybe for a moment about a time when you were the one showing up for someone else. Think about what it means to reach out in a time when someone else is struggling. And those can be simple actions. They don't have to be complicated ones. Yay for the umbrella carriers this morning. Woohoo for Bill. and Tremaine for the umbrella carriers. And yay for the people who wash the towels that we used to dry people off this morning. When have you been the person who was the friend gathering around someone else? These are the moments that actually make a difference in building community. So, that song is about the power of connection. Even when times are hard, connections really matter. So let's break down that motto that I reminded us of this morning. Love unites, caring connects, and community thrives. What does that even mean? This sort of 3 phrases is meant to remind us why we're here. Why we even come here. Why you bothered seeing the forecast on a Sunday morning to leave your cozy homes and drive here. And why some of you, even if you got here when it was absolutely pouring rain, still got out of your cars. There's a reason we do that. There's got to be something that motivates us to do that. What is it we're looking for? So these 3 phrases, love unites, caring connects, community thrives, are meant to be ways to help us remember what we're here for. So anybody remember, some of you are going to remember this more familiar UU version of the open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. Remember that? That's fairly familiar. Well, we used to say that, and then we decided to change it to these 3 phrases. And we asked ourselves, well, okay, yeah, we have open minds, we have loving hearts, we have helping hands, but we were like, so what are we going to do with them? What are we going to do with them? So we decided to rephrase our version of this, because it's easy to say that we have those things, but it's a whole different matter to act on it. So what does it mean that love unites? The act of loving one another and the world creates union. Think about that for a minute. Think about someone or something in your life that you might feel a little bit separate from, but yet you love them. I know that every one of us in this room can think of someone that we love that we disagree with. That's pretty easy to do right now, because we live in a world that is very divided. And yet, we do love these people who we disagree with. Love counters division. It gives us motivation and methods for building solidarity, even when we might want to instinctively move away, even when we might instinctively want to separate. To love is a choice. To build union where there is already dissonance and separation, it's a choice. This is the first choice we can make in responding to a world that is struggling. It's the first choice we can make to bring healing where difference and division is causing harm to ourselves and others. I have said this many times, and I will repeat it. Fear is an excellent short-term fuel source. Fear and anger are great energy burst kind of energies, but they will not sustain us for the long haul. The only fuel that sustains us for the long haul in building connection where separation wants to happen is love. Love is the thing that will motivate us and give us the energy to keep going back and keep trying and persisting when we want to give up. It's the only really true long-term sustainable fuel. So love can unite us. Caring connects. To behave in caring ways, to take regular, intentional caring actions, will build and strengthen connections that are life-giving and life-saving, but that will otherwise dissolve. How many of you, including me, have people in your life that you know you need to reach out to. That you think, I should have sent them that email. I need to make that phone call. I should send that text. All right? Now, here's a caveat on caring. Self-care is the first level of caring connections. If we don't take care of ourselves, we are not going to have the energy to care for anybody else. And I will say that in our UU communities, we have a tendency to sometimes err on the side of taking care of other people rather than ourselves. But caring, intentional actions take energy, love is the fuel, and they are required to build the strength that makes bonds strong. Hasn't isolation become so common in our world today? Isolation has become the norm. There are so many benefits of a technological society. There really are. But one of its greatest drawbacks is that it allows and probably even encourages us to a much higher level of isolation than has been the norm in previous times. We can work from our own home office. We can skip the grocery store and have food delivered to our door without actually speaking to another human being. We can rely on the relative detachment of emails to communicate even in the most potent, powerful, and profound of human circumstances, right? We find it so much easier now to simply stay in our little personal silos and not connect. And yet, when I ask people why they're here, what they tell me is that they're looking for community, that they're craving connection, that we need each other. In a world where those connections are more and more virtual and more optional, it's really essential that we be intentional about caring for ourselves and one another. Now, in a few moments, Ryan's going to be telling us about our new Caring Connections team and how it works and how we're getting really intentional here about taking care of each other. But think about that in your own life. How much of your life is pulled away and into the silo and into the isolation? And how could you maybe find ways to take intentional caring actions for yourselves and others? So the third line of that proclaimed focus as a congregation is this: community thrives. Now, when you first hear those three things together, that sounds like the result, right? Love unites us. We're going to act lovingly, and that'll unite us. Caring will connect us, and then our community will thrive. It sounds like A plus B equals C. But the statement is actually more than that. Community thrives is a rallying call for us. It's a way of saying we need to ensure that community thrives. How many of you don't have to raise your hands, but think about this. How many of you were raised to prioritize a thriving community as opposed to individual success? I was a college teacher in my previous career, and I know very well what we were told to prioritize in educating young people. Focus on individual success. Focus on winning the competition. Focus on getting the highest grade. Focus on being the best one in the room. Focus on yourself succeeding so that you can make sure you're okay. Most of us in this culture were not taught that the highest priority is a thriving community. So Community Thrives is actually a rallying call for us to remember that we need to build a community that is sustainable and healthy, and when it is that, able to welcome more people and do more justice work and spread into the world, and make sure that we are building a community that is thriving. So having these three statements as our intention actually matters. Intentions are powerful things. Think about that for a second. Intentions are really powerful things. And lots of times our intentions are very unconscious. Often our unspoken but deeply embedded intentions for how we're going to live are things like this. I will keep myself safe no matter what. I will never allow myself to be hurt like that again. I will always do whatever it takes to be independent. Is these sounding familiar? Think about your own always and never. They're usually unconscious. They might be beneficial in some ways. I will always put my family first. I will never neglect my health. But often, the intentions that we're making with our lives are stated internally as kind of always, never, absolute statements, right? And they are often, frankly, rooted in fear. Think about your absolutes. Often they're rooted in fear. They're rooted in past pain. They're rooted in fear of bad outcomes. Well, I have to always do this because I better make sure I have enough money. I have to always do this because I have to make sure that I stay safe in this way. They are generally rooted in fear. They often come from some undesirable experience that we've already had or that we've witnessed others having, and they shape the choices we make. But by making conscious and chosen intentions that are rooted in, go back to our first value, love, in courage, we actually are setting a very different intention for the way we're going to live our lives. When we make a decision about what we're saying yes to, I will value each person who comes in this room. I will choose to be present. I will make eye contact. I say yes to the connection, even if it scares me, right? When we intend what we say yes to, love and caring, that's that sustainable fuel, right? Fear is a great short-term source of energy, but it's a terrible one for sustaining ourselves long-term. And it's just not very inspiring. So here at Westside, one of the things we have done recently, we used to have, when I first came here a number of years ago, we had a committee that did things like prepare meals for people or give people rides and things like that, which was awesome. And we had a membership committee, and they were separate. And recently, we have changed things up a little bit. So for those of you who were here 10 years ago, this is different. What we're doing now is different. We used to think of caring and membership as two different things. We used to, and this is a very Western way of thinking. Membership is getting new people here so there's more members on the books and so that we have enough members to sustain ourselves financially, right? And we want to take care of people too. And we hired Drew Coffey as our membership coordinator. And we started talking about what we needed to do for membership, and oh yeah, let's do caring as part of that. And pretty quickly that evolved into realizing, well, there's no point of having membership if caring isn't the whole point of membership. So now we don't have a membership committee or a membership. Membership isn't a separate thing from what we're now calling caring connections, which is a way of taking care of each other at all levels, whether it's your first time here and Bill has got the umbrella, or whether it's your 50th time here or your 500th time here. At all levels, we want to take care of each other. So Drew is sick this morning and is not here, but Ryan co-leads that committee with him, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with that committee so that we can understand active ways that we can actually help take care of one another.
Good morning again. I forget to introduce myself a lot of times. My name is Ryan Moyers. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and it's important, I think, that you know that since I am co-leading the committee. It's a lot of things, but like Carol said, one part of it is things like what ways can you help people around you, and it's making meals, giving rides when people need it. Do you need a ride to a doctor's appointment, to any kind of appointment? Do they need help getting here because they want to be here, or do they need someone to check on them who we haven't seen in a while? It encompasses a lot of different facets that we're still fully working through. I have to pull up the list. I am possible. It is an extensive list. Sorry. So there's many ways you can think of, because you might think, well, I can do this, but I can't do that. And the whole point of the committee is figuring out who can fit and fill which space. So maybe you are able to say, I can give rides to people in the Farragut area, in the Loudoun area, in South Knoxville. There's, if it's where you live and you have the time and the capability, the committee is here to, you can reach out and say, I can do this, and the committee would be reaching out to people who said, hey, I can help out here in this way, and we'll reach out to you and be like, hey, you said you could do this, can you do it today? You're not signing up to be your job. It's not a job. It's all volunteering your time as you're able. There's a lot of different things of it too. There's the physical acts that we think of a lot of times, bringing food and meals to people who are struggling, either with purchasing food, or they're very sick and they can't cook for themselves. There's physical acts like that. And then there's the more noticing intangible things, such as, I haven't seen Chris for a few weeks. I would like to reach out to him. Or someone would like to reach out to him and be like, hey, how's it going? Or you can say, I can make time out of my day to meet people, to meet with someone from the congregation, see how they're doing, or even beyond. But right now it's focused here. And things like, we haven't really celebrated, I know this happened to this person recently, it's either positive, we haven't celebrated it, or it's negative, and we haven't really done something to say, hey, do you need help? Again, it's noticing what is going on with the people around you and seeing a need and filling it as you can. One of the things that we are doing is also as part of this is making it an opportunity for community events. If you have an event that you like, Ellen talks about her hiking group, Ellen Greenwood, and so it's I want to go hiking. Does anybody else want to go? And we can make it an not an announcement at the beginning of service, but maybe something in the newsletter that would be hey, we've noticed that someone's doing this. Who can join? It's this many people. It can be community events of coming together, or it can be, hey, I'm going to volunteer at this charity, helping gather donations or pack these care packages. Who can come with me on this day? And coordinating events to keep the community not only together in fun ways, but in active in the community ways. For the biggest thing that we're doing right now is there will be a form physically in the very back next to the boxes, and also digitally is in the newsletter, I believe, where right now it's filling out right now it's a preliminary, hey, I can do this, I can give rides in this area, or hey, I can carve time out of my day to go check on this person physically, or a phone call, or I am able to come to Westside and help, with the multitude of projects that are going on outside and inside. I can provide help in this way or that way. It's to find out what people are capable of, or who is capable of what, and also are there needs you have noticed? Like, are you, because there are going to be a multitude of selections of what needs can be filled. And you may read this list and you may look at it and you go, I think there's something else that I've seen that we could do more of, and you can put that on there, and it brings it to the attention. The committee will be looking at it, seeing what is on there, and then kind of disseminating it to whoever is in the area that they said they can help. So the committee itself is going to be doing this, but also reaching out to everyone who said they could volunteer themselves. You do not have to be a part of the committee to be volunteering, but you can say, hey, I'm doing this, and someone on the committee would reach out and say, hey, can you do this today? Or not really, it would be last minute, hopefully. But there is another thing. It would be coordinating emergency things. Like, say, it's also to reach out. Sometime we have, Morgan Ringelspaw tells us about something that happened early on in their membership where they, just broke down and said, we're struggling, and the whole congregation came together to help them and their family. And maybe you can come up in front of the whole congregation and say that. Maybe you're struggling, it's, even though we want to tell you, it's not embarrassing, don't worry, it's okay. It doesn't change the fact that sometimes you might sit there and go, this is embarrassing, I shouldn't be struggling. Don't think that. It's okay to be struggling. But that's one thing that these forums and the committee is for as well, a more private way to reach out and say, hey, I need help here, and maybe because it's community and also yourself. Self-care is what you need to do first. So one thing we try to do or want to do with it is we get the committee, we'll get the form, get the outreach of, hey, I've noticed this, or hey, and this needs help, this person needs help, or I've noticed this need, and then we will reach out to, again, someone. But in case there might be emergencies, like, hey, reaching out to everybody, someone needs help. And it would be not, again, if you're reaching out trying to be anonymous, it would not be, Baz Quar needs a lot of help right now. Everybody look at him. It would be we've received an idea if it's a very much, please, I need help, but I don't want to be spotlighted. It can be, someone in the community needs help in this manner, and then we would coordinate it as we can. And the goal, my hope of the goal is it starts with our community of people here, who we know, who we care about, and it will, not only does doing good things make you feel good sometimes, it can also inspire further positive actions to go out into the world. And the hope is it would, you take that drive and that motivation to beyond Westside, moving on to the wider community at large. Maybe you've noticed something in your, with somebody who's not related to here at all, but they need help and you can help, and you have not the drive, but like the tools to reach out to them as well, or get help for them beyond just yourself, because helping someone else is not a single person task. The common saying that, I don't know how common anymore, but it's coming back, it takes a village. It does. You can say, you can only help so many people before you burn yourself out. So you yourself need to be part of the community to help other people in the community together. And so if you have time today, again, it's the form for this preliminary search is back there on the table in the back next to the boxes, and it will be online. But there are small ways. Let me go into. Do we do?
I'm going to.
Okay. And so for, one thing we do all the time is, we're going to go right into it, is our, oh my gosh. Hello?
He's thinking about justice and
There we go. Justice and generosity. I almost said caring connection partner, but that's not what it is.
Got it. Yeah, he's thinking of our partnerships. But I have something else to say before we talk about that, which is this. So the simplest version of this is there will always be a way now, online or by a piece of paper, that you can say, hey, I need a ride. Hey, I'm having a hard time financially. Hey, my family's struggling with whatever. Hey, I need your help. You're going to be able to access us. We are committed to taking care of the congregation at the level of it's your first time here. You're brand new. You've just met us. What do you need? You've been here for a few years. You're actively engaged in the congregation. What does that mean? What do you need? Or you are a person who is maybe with us virtually, can't physically get here. Or maybe you're someone who was a member of the congregation for the last 20 years and is no longer able to physically be present, but we still want to make sure we're taking care of each other. But here's the question I have for all of you. I don't know about you, but when I think about myself and I think about all the needs in the world, I get overwhelmed. Anybody else feel overwhelmed? Anybody else feel like, oh crap, I can't do that. It's too much. I'm swamped already. That is a very real thing. At the most basic level, probably the people in this room are already doing a whole lot of caregiving in one way or another. Maybe it's in your job. Maybe it's in your family. Maybe you're already volunteering at 3 other organizations. Maybe you're already like, oh, heavens, no, I'm not going to pick up that piece of paper. Not going to happen. So here's our challenge. Maybe you need to fill out the request part of the survey. We had a wonderful thing happen last Sunday after church. A couple of our lay leaders came up to me and said, we've decided we need an LGBTQ support group. We need it. What do you think? I was like, let's do it. Yes. So out of that need, a few people decided to come together, and we're going to be working on that. That's going to be happening. And we're trying to figure out ways to extend that beyond the walls of this building, right? So it can be easy to hear, we've got a new committee and we need people to volunteer for stuff. And I know I personally can feel overwhelmed when I hear that. I don't know if John Denver really said this, okay? I don't know if he is the one who actually said this, but I used to have a little piece of paper stuck to my mirror that claimed to be a John Denver thing. Who knows, right? But the message was, find the place where your joy meets the needs of the world. Okay? Maybe you like to cook. Well, then maybe you can sign up and say, hey, if somebody needs some food, I'll cook. Maybe you like to drive. Maybe you like to hang out with people for an hour or two. Maybe you think about where your joy, we want to be being of service in ways that feed us. Not out of fear, but out of love. Acts of caring that come from the love that is already within us. And if your well is dry and empty, then this is also a survey for you, right? We don't know what people need if we don't know what people need. How many people in this room, I might even ask you to kind of raise your hands because it would be a bold and daring action on your part. How many people in this room find it hard to ask for help? We are bad at that. So there are 2 sides to this exercise of learning to care for ourselves and one another. And part of that is modeling that there is no shame in admitting our humanness. There is no shame in saying, man, I'm struggling. The job of any institution like this is ministry, and to minister means to care for. And it's not my job only, it's our job. We all minister to one another. So, what are your needs? And where does what you love meet the needs of the world? Please hold that in mind as you think about what you might put on a form that lets this committee know what the needs of the community are and what the love of the community might offer. So Ryan is right. We do have justice and generosity partners. One of the ways we do this, one of the ways we take our caring out into the larger world, is we have these partners every quarter. So every few months we change partners, and these are long-term partners that we work with in the community who do good things in the community. Now, our current partner, today is the last Sunday that this will be our current partner. They've been our partner for the last few months, is Knox Pride. And we can continue to support them. So you can contribute to them financially. There's a QR code. There is a QR code in the box at the back of the room. You can do it online. There are a lot of ways to support them financially. You can also, we have a bin in the foyer that you can put material objects in that they need, and we'll make sure they get them. They are currently needing water for their pantry, and they have been asking for personal care products, hairbrushes, toothpaste, toothbrushes, things like that. Starting next week, for the next quarter, July, August, and September, our partner is Keep Tennessee River Beautiful. It's an organization, so we have 4 different ways we focus our partnerships. In the spring, we always focus on an LGBTQ plus organization. In the summer, it's an environmental organization. In the fall, it is a family-focused, so in the fall, it'll be mobile meals, and in the winter, we do racial equity. So in the winter, we'll be, again, with the bottom. But in the summer, we focus on the environment. And Keep the Tennessee River Beautiful is an organization that does regular work to clean the Tennessee River, to keep our rivers healthy and well, which doesn't just serve the human community, right? Our community extends beyond the human community. So starting next week, we'll be talking about Keep Tennessee River Beautiful. You can also always support Westside financially using the QR codes, using our online donation mechanisms, using the box in the back of the room. Any support that you have to offer to the world is received with love, because even the smallest act of caring makes a difference. So we're going to sing another song. I am going to ask you to stand up for this one, bravely. Okay, so this one, everybody, you can stand up. Now we're going to do this one. We're going to do this one as our closing. So for those of you who are new, we actually hold hands. But you do not have to hold another person's hand. If you do not have to hold a stranger's hand. You can hold your own hands. We always say that. Hold your own hands if that makes you happy. Okay? Now, I hate to do this, choir, but I need to drag you out of there. Fill in the spaces where the choir left. Okay? And we're going to sing a song. The words will be up here, so those of you will be able to see it. But here's what the words are. The words are, I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. This is our aspiration. This is why we do this. We do this caring and community connecting because we want all of us to move out of fear and into love. That's why we're here. Isn't that why we're here? We want to move out of fear and hurt and into love and connection. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings, and I will get to become the best person that I can possibly be. So you're going to get to be bold and brave. We're going to sing it all together twice, and then we're going to do it as a round. Okay? So So here's how this is going to go. We're going to sing it twice through, and then this side of the room over here. So Judy, Chris, and Tremaine, why don't you go stand over there with those guys on my left. Watch the chords. And then over here, we're going to come in, and you guys going to, I'll help you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Brad, I'm going to need this microphone. All right, so we are going to sing this twice through. Jan, would you like to play the melody for us once? We're going to make it as easy as possible. Go. Okay, everybody sing it. We're going to sing it twice. Sound nice? Isn't that lovely when we each just sing our part and when we coordinate? So as you go out into this day, I'm going to take Ellen's hand because I can. When you go out into this day and into this week and into the world that is full of disharmony and strife and struggle and yelling and shouting and all the things, try to remember this feeling. It is possible to not all sing at exactly the same time and still have it sound awesome. It is possible to be in a room where you don't know the words and still be part of something. It is possible to hold hands with people you don't know very well and feel connected. So let us be the people who unite through love, who connect through caring, and build community that thrives. May it be so. Go in peace. Go in passion.